Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Jake Gordon and Alex Lord. The Braves suffered two scares in their clobbering of the Marlins. The bats went off 14 runs. But Michael Harris went down. Luckily, it looks like just a jammed knee. He's day-to-day. Hopefully, we'll see him back this weekend. The bigger injury, though, is Kyle Wright, who re-aggravated that shoulder injury that cost him the offseason, spring training, the beginning of this season. And shoulder injuries can almost be worse than elbow injuries because you saw him alter basically Ian Anderson's career. I mean, he started dealing with shoulder problems. Look where Anderson is now. So hopefully that's not the same case with Wright, but they can be nagging. They don't normally require surgery. And the thing about Tommy John is you go get the elbow done. You come back in 14 months. Most people come back even better. Max Fried, Spencer Strider. Think Ian Anderson for shoulder injuries. Not trying to sound the alarm, but it can be something bad. He could miss the rest of the season. I know he only went on the 15-day IL, but I think this is something that's going to last a lot longer than that, especially since the Braves are going to take things really cautiously with him. They don't need him back. Their rotation's been good, and they have options. So let's talk about those options. Dylan Dodd gets the start tonight. I think this is his audition to win the job. If he pitches well, I think they're going to stick with him for at least a few more weeks until he shows bad signs like he did against the Padres. I like Dodd. He attacks batters. I'm not quite sure he's MLB ready. His stuff is. So who's next up? I think it's Mike Soroka time, guys. I really do think. I know he gave up 10 runs over 3 innings, but I think it's Mike Soroka time in the long term. I think Dodd could pitch well tonight against a bad Marlins team, but eventually he'll slip up. And when that happens, I think it's going to be Mike Soroka coming into the Braves rotation for the first time since 2020.
Yeah, I agree, and I think they're handling this the right way. It shouldn't have been Jared Schuster. We've kind of seen what he has. He needs more time. You can give Dodd one more shot. I didn't get to watch the game last night, and I saw that Wright got pulled in the third inning, and I was like, I saw that he had given up some hits and some runs, but I was like, dude, we have it's like 8-3. Why are we pulling this guy? And then I saw that he was feeling some shoulder discomfort. It's really disappointing. I hate it for him, especially with how well he pitched last year. But this happens. This is how the big league game goes. But I agree with you. I think this is the best course of action. See what Dodd has, and if he's ready, throw him out there. The fact that Soroka would not have been on proper rest on tonight on Thursday, he could have been on Friday, but there was just no way it was going to be Soroka with the Thursday start. So yeah, if Dodd has a rough outing, which is definitely possible, I think you have to start considering Soroka.
Yeah, we're all on the same train. I just like it for purely as a fan, not even thinking like objectively about what's best for the actual team and wins and production, purely from a fan's point of view. I want to see Soroka back on the mound in Truist Park. I mean, it'll be like a playoff atmosphere when Soroka toes the rubber again. He's overwhelmingly loved by Braves country. And that's not to say Dodd isn't going to be a guy in the rotation someday, because he has that confidence. He throws strikes. He doesn't get deterred when he gets hit. And those are all, the signs of a guy who can really contribute at the major league level. And to Jake's point, yeah, Schuster's just not ready. He doesn't have those things. He lacks control. He doesn't have that kind of confidence. Dodd's kind of like that elder guy where, he doesn't have the nastiest stuff, but he's effective. So we're all on the same board. I can't wait to see Soroka back. I'll definitely be present in Truist Park, and it has to be at Truist Park when he makes his return.
You would hope
something.
So.
Yeah, something interesting to think about. Julio Teheran just opted out of his deal with the Padres, the minor league contract.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if the Braves went out and added another veteran pitcher. I definitely wouldn't. But is it kind of weird? And I'm not even going to hide it. Like, I feel bad for Dylan Dodd saying this, but I don't think I'm the only Braves fan that thinks this. Like, I kind of hope he goes out there and struggles today. I really do. Like, I hope he goes out there, doesn't struggle mightily, maybe gives up 4 runs over 4 innings, but just doesn't look quite ready. We can have you in a little bit because I do think Soroka's next up. I don't even think it's a question. Now, the Braves don't need another 5th starter for a little bit. They have this start with Dodd, then they have another couple series where they're not going to need a 5th starter. And then they have a rest day. So it allows them to really not need a guy for about 2 weeks. But like I said, I don't think this Kyle Wright injury is something where 15 days and he's going to be ready. I just don't see that happening. 15 days, the minimum. I could see this lasting a couple months. So hopefully it doesn't. But I think they're going to need a permanent figure in that rotation. They're not going to just do bullpen days every 5th day for a month. So they're going to have to find a permanent figure. And I hope that guy is Mike Soroka. So like low key, I just hope that maybe Dylan Dodd struggles a little bit and we can get to see Mike Soroka. As far as Jared Schuster, he's not ready at all. He's gone back to AAA. He has a 3.46 ERA, but that doesn't tell the entire story. The guy has like a 1.8 whip. He's walked 10 batters in 13 innings. He's given up 13 hits. The fact that he only has a 3.46 ERA is actually almost miraculous for as many base runners as he's allowed. He's just not ready. So I think it's between Dodd and Soroka. Those are really your only two options right now. And I wouldn't be surprised, Jake. I know you were joking kind of about Julio Teheran. If the Braves did go out there and add a fifth starter, a veteran type, to some sort of minor league deal, not meaning he's going to come in and start right away, but just as a backup plan, as insurance. So listen, I think it's an exciting time. I mean, listen, the Braves don't need anything. They've been almost perfect in all areas. The offense is starting to come around. We saw Ozuna have a couple homers. Ozzie Albies is playing like the best second baseman in baseball. Ronald Acuna is an MVP. Austin Riley had some good at-bats, hit a homer. They don't need a lot. So why not go out there, hold Soroka's feet to the fire, let him see if he can be the guy again and work his way through whatever he's got to work through, because there's going to be bumps in the road, but he's done it before. He's got confidence. Let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I just want to say real quick about Ozzie Albies. He's on pace for 48 home runs, which is so sick. But this stretch of the schedule coming up is a lot more difficult than you thought it would be at the beginning of the year. We got 3 with the Orioles, who actually have a better record than the Braves, or they're close. Now it's just
20-10, and the Braves are 21-10. It's like they're
Boston, 2 games of Boston, who's been surprisingly good. Then you got some with Toronto. The Rangers, another team that wasn't really expected to be that great. Tough Mariners squad, and then you got the Dodgers and Phillies before you get the A's. So, I mean, this is a tough stretch coming up, too. So we're going to find out what these kids are made of.
Yeah, despite, we can all be sad about Kyle Wright, and hopefully it's nothing too serious in terms of his career. But in tragedy, there's always opportunity. And one of these guys are going to come out and, hopefully grab one of these starting roles, whether it be Soroka or Dodd or another guy that you guys mentioned, that they get to a minor league deal. But, there's an opportunity here to be had. So somebody's got to take advantage.